Well, hello there everyone, and are y'all excited? I know I am. We finally have a gameplay trailer for Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood, and I'm really excited to get to see this because I know this is what me and a lot of other people have been really waiting for. You know, we've seen bits of the story, but we still don't know what the gameplay is like. And sure enough, at Nacon, whatever, they released some gameplay. So again, I haven't seen it yet, so I can watch it with all of y'all. And also, I'm probably going to do a quick reaction to this as well, because this was also shown at this Nacon convention, a trailer for Vampire the Masquerade Swansong, which I don't know what it is, so I guess we'll see when we watch it. But I just know I'm ready for this gameplay. And once we watch it, I'm going to kind of talk about, we're going to analyze it like I did with the previous trailers, and I also want to kind of compare it to what some people in the comments on my previous videos and stuff that I read online said about it. But I don't want to hold any longer for this. Let's watch this. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to do it in this theater mode instead of full screen. I might full screen it if I'm pointing out details, but this is about the only way I could get it to record a decent frame rate after a lot of experimenting, so that's what we'll do. But ooh, I'm ready for this.
Peggy 18.
Let's check it out. Now that's not the song from the first trailer, that's a new song. Ooh. Interesting. Worm spawn. There is gunplay. So again, it's like they're shooting it in a trailer. Yep, there's that wood elemental type thing from the first trailer I watched. Okay, I want to definitely go back. Okay, we have a release date too, February 4th, 2021. Awesome. And I like that song. I'll have to know. I do not want to do that. So, good song. So, it kind of sucks that it's still in this sort of, best term I can think for it is trailer format, so we don't really get to see the heads-up display or see, the typical stuff you'd actually see while playing. But hey, at least we're getting to see some of it. So, let's see. Do I want to start by talking about, well, no. Let's actually go back and analyze some of this stuff in it. So, at first, as soon as I saw this bit coming up right here, well, okay, hopefully this, we're not having too many spider-themed, Fomori or Banes here, because I'm arachnophobic. But now, notice here, it looks like we have a black spiral dancer, so presumably we're going to be fighting them. It doesn't have those corruption tendrils like we saw the previous ones having, but okay, well, again, hopefully it doesn't slow too far down with this, with me going full screen, but I want to look at the details here and show. So, initial impression when I saw this bit, and again, I wish I could slow it down, but just from what I saw there, like, the animation and the graphics, for being an Xbox One, PC, and PS4 game, the graphics are a little meh. I mean, you can see a decent bit of detail. You can see, kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say individual fur hairs, but you can see a decent bit. But the animation is and the graphics look okay, I guess. We'll have to see when, we get the full actual detailed gameplay coming out. Then here we have what is pretty obviously a stealth kill. It really reminds me of one of the animations from, what was it? Ghost Recon Wildlands. If you're holding a pistol and you do a stealth kill, you grab them and snap the neck while you have it held. And then we can see here, oh, and I should also point that, yeah, that guy that he was taking down. Actually, something I've noticed is that both of these characters shown here, this kind of looks like just a standard Endron employee. So I'm wondering if this is like a civilian, kind of, like if they're going to have, maybe that's why he's in the wolf form, is he's trying to avoid, alerting or killing the civilian. So that's possible, or it could just be an enemy. I don't know, because, the guy that he does the stealth kill on is pretty similar, but he has, that's probably a night vision goggles or something similar, and then he also had a gun that you can just barely see him drop when Cahal does the stealth kill. And I've also noticed these weird glass shard looking things around him, like, I'm honestly not too sure what that could be. It's probably some kind of gift effect, if I had to guess. But there's that. And then we saw, wait a minute. Okay. So obviously we see here that we are going to have some, third person gunplay here, because we actually didn't know at first. It might have said if it was first or third person before, but I'm not too sure. But I had a feeling it was going to be third person, it being a werewolf type game. You want to do third person brawling and stuff. But we, can see that obviously we've got probably some cover, some typical cover stuff here. But notice, when he pulled that out, it's a crossbow. It's a pistol, probably compacting pistol or crossbow, because it looked like when he pulled it out that the limbs just popped out. So I'm not sure if that was what he had in his holster in the previous trailer, or if there are multiple different weapons or what. And then we see here some Krenos form smashing around, plenty of blood. And honestly, the Krenos brawling does look very, brawler-esque, for lack of a better way to put it. It looks like, the only time I can think, the only comparison I can think off the top of my head is it kind of makes me think of the Werehog segments from Sonic Unleashed, I think it was. I never actually played it, but the gameplay kind of reminds me of that. But that's just us getting to see the fighting here. Like I said, there's no heads-up display, so we don't know how RPG-esque that this fighting and brawling would be. I'm just showing this over as I talk about that. But let's actually try to analyze these individual scenes a little bit. So obviously, a couple of Endron guys, they're wearing the same outfit, so I guess that probably is just what their security is wearing. They don't have the ballistic / tactical vest they had that we saw in that one guy in the trailer. And you can also see, you can actually see over here a laser sight. Now, since I play a lot of Payday 2, as you might have noticed from my whatever video, the video I made after the Werewolf video, the original Earthblood video blew up, my first thought when I see this is sniper. Could be a gun turret. It could be just a regular dude using a laser sight with like an assault rifle or SMG or something. Could be a robot. Could be like a more gun-based power loader, because obviously we're seeing the power loaders showing up a good bit during this trailer as well. So we've got that. There was a ground slam again. Don't know if it's a gift. There's a dude in some armor over here, and then this guy. Wait a minute. Are they just going about their business? They were either going about their business, or this guy back here was like cowering. That's almost what it kind of looked like. But no, the guy in the armor was just strolling along. Oh no, I'm a big scare werewolf. It's not bothering me. No delirium for me. And that's something else to kind of bring up here a little bit. Like, let me get back to here. Like, notice that it does not seem like these Endron employees, again, we don't know if these are Femoris that are mostly human or if they are just regular human Endron employees, because if they're regular humans, then they should be going into the Delirium, which, for those that aren't familiar with Werewolf the Apocalypse, there's an effect in the game called Delirium, and I'll probably be putting up some pictures from the rulebook here. And basically what the Delirium is it taps into humanity's primal, millennia ago brain instincts, essentially, when the Garou culled humanity down to very few numbers. And essentially what it does is, if a werewolf, a Garou, and even some of the other Pharaoh, the other changing breeds, if they go into their Krynos form, it essentially causes the human to... Any humans that see it that are not kinfolk or have a very high willpower to panic in some kind of way. And I'll probably put the chart up here, the different Delirium effects. The higher your willpower, the less pronounced the effects. But on this chart, like Delirium, the majority of humans have a willpower of between 2 and 4. So generally it's panic. But their effects range from catatonic, panic, attacking wildly, running and trying to put as much distance between you and the werewolf as possible, pleading for your life, all kinds of different things. And it doesn't seem like these Endron employees are affected by it. Even if they're panicking and shooting, they seem to be, from what we're seeing them do, they seem to have more intelligent thought than if they were going into Delirium. So I still love that guy in the armor that was just strutting along like there was not a 8-foot tall, 600-pound of muscle killing machine slaughtering his friends in front of him. Gotta love it. But anyway, as I was going to point out, well, first of all, a lot of blood. I mean, I expected this game to be really gory, so hopefully they don't disappoint. If I don't get to rip people in half like this one picture in the rulebook, I'm going to be seriously disappointed. But again, they don't look like they're panicking. They look like they're just intelligently trying to fight, and they're using guns. They're using assault rifle or SMG automatic weapons from the looks of it. So that would mean that either those are all Fomori, or they're just kind of ignoring the Delirium for this, because there's no way that all of these Endron employees would have a willpower of like 9 or 10. So, I don't know. They could be ignoring it because the Delirium is something that's really, really easy to forget in Werewolf the Apocalypse, just like the effects of the rage around humans if your rage is too high. I might discuss that if I make another video kind of talking about Earthblood some more, which I've got some ideas for, but it's for another time. Let's continue to analyze this. So here's the power loader again. We've got some more of those Endron mooks over here inside of what looks to be an office area. Now, it seems like this power loader has what seems to be flamethrower arms. Yeah, definitely double flamethrower arms here. Which is not going to be good because fire is considered aggravated damage. Like, it's not as bad as if, say, a vampire gets hit with it, where they pretty much cannot soak damage from it. Werewolves can soak damage from it, especially in their Krynos form, where they have enhanced stamina. But it still deals aggravated damage. It still takes a while to heal. So, we'll see how that ends up being in gameplay. Kind of swinging at open air there, buddy. Kind of like how in the one where it had that explosive... This scene right here where it had the explosive barrel in the background. Just ground pounding the ground, just out of nowhere, just to show things off. Got some red swipes there. There was another kind of energy line looking thing. It instantly makes me think of like the Opticore from Warframe or the Spartan laser from Halo or something like that. Like it's getting ready to charge, does that little laser, and then boom, sends a hard laser across it. And it looks like it's charging, so that's probably what it is doing. So looks like we can do a little bit of like aerial combo-ness here. I mean, he just knocked him up and then didn't continue the combo, but And then you can see there for just a split second that this power loader is doing a electrical field. This looks like it's probably down in a basement or something inside one of the warehouses. We've got some more Endron guards back here. That guy looked like he was, I don't know, trying to get the power loader's attention or throw something to it or something like that. So we've got a more heavily armored guard here that seems to have a shotgun. Again, now that I think about it, so notice that it seems here that it's again, like the blue laser that we saw, a few scenes back, that it's preparing before it sends out an attack. So with the way that everything seems so far, and the fact that Garou have a heavy amount of speed and their rage allowing them to almost like do things at absurdly superhuman speeds and stuff like that, like take extra actions and stuff. That's what using rage to take extra actions is described as in the book, is just doing things faster than most humans can react. So I would not be surprised if the majority of these attacks are going to do this, especially the heavy ones. Like the Endron guards with their automatic weapons didn't seem to have something like this. But a heavier attack like that laser or a sniper or the shotgun, sending out that almost kind of laser look before it actually attacks, would kind of give you more of a chance to dodge. I can't think of a game off the top of my head that really does that. I'm probably sure that a spectacle fighter like Devil May Cry or maybe Metal Gear Rising did something like that. But anyway, yeah, we can see that this guy is a lot more heavily armored. He's got a full, what looks like a heavy ballistic vest, a helmet with one of those riot face masks, and, like I said, a shotgun, which, again, it looks like it could also be an energy shotgun. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Did he threw something at him. Is that another? Yep, he picked up a Endron guard from here and just flung him at this guy. Now, it only seemed to very, very briefly stagger him. He didn't fall over or go flying or anything. Like, it was a very brief stagger. It did seem to interrupt, or it looked like he might have actually fired into that guy's body to kind of block it. So I notice the fur is really standing up on end for this reason this time. It might have been doing this the whole time and I just never noticed. But okay, so howl. Seems like he let out a howl there. And okay, so this is something that I was curious about that I noticed a few times while I was watching through this. First of all, we can see that this power loader has electrical energy arc, and so I'm assuming that these power loaders, exosuits, whatever they're going to end up being, are going to have multiple configurations. We saw one with dual flamethrowers. Now it looks like we have one with these kind of shock grips, shock claw type things, arc weapons. Probably the same kind of one that was earlier doing that electrical pound. And I see this guy over here. I think he's firing, or it could look like he's holding a sword. I'm pretty sure he's firing. Yeah, he's firing. Oh, it's going into slow motion, and that's the bullet trail. So, yeah, it seems like there might be some slow motion stuff, or it could just be because he's doing the howl. I'm not sure, but it looks like the howl, judging by the effect that's hitting the power loader when he does it, it seems like it'll be damaging or stunning them or something like that. And now, here's what I wanted to point out that I noticed a scene or two ahead as well. These energy effects coming off of Cahal here. Now, I remember when the first trailer came out and I saw what we all assume at this point is a black spiral dancer that Cahal was facing off with, that I was wondering if that was Cahal because he was standing near the destroyed power loader, so it, to me, from a perspective sense, made it seem like it was Cahal. But again, the comments and just thinking about it more, and the fact that we saw Cahal's arm and his glove in the foreground showed that it was a black spiral dancer. Now, these tendrils are nowhere near as pronounced as the ones that were on the black spiral dancer in that trailer, so, it's probably just an energy effect kind of thing for it. But yeah, he does a howl there. Another power loader here, you know, knocking over some barrels, and it was kind of hard to tell what kind of weapons that one had. It might have been more shot gloves, or it might have almost been, looked like it might have been shotgun gloves or something like that. So here it looked like, let's take a close look at this. Judging by his musculature, I bet that's a Fomori. He looks too ripped, for lack of a better term, to be just a regular Pentex employee. So that is probably a Fomori. I think he might have a shield on his arm. Yeah, that's what it looked like. So, yeah, that's probably what that is, a Fomori with a shield or a heavily armored guy or something. Another one of those shock fields from the power loader. Didn't look like there was much else in that scene, aside from maybe something over here. I like that bit of the song dropping. I'm gonna have to check and see if they say in the description or anything what the song is. That's see, we have a bunch of text floating around here, but I can't make anything out about it. It just seems like random symbols or runes or code or something like that. And then, as we can see here, this is the thing that I saw in the initial trailer, the first trailer, that I thought might have been the Karen, but this is clearly, at least I would assume, it looks like a guy in spirit. I'm like 95% sure that's probably a guy in spirit. Cahal seems to be in his wolf form here. The regular wolf form, like, again, we only get to see like 2, maybe 3 glimpses of it in this trailer, so it could just be from what we're seeing, but it almost seems like its fur is a little bit less detailed than the Krynos form, but we'll see. You know, we'll see. We're not seeing a whole lot with this, but it has this kind of outline around it, so probably it would make sense for the wolf form, the lupus form, to have like the ability to see enemies through walls or see friendlies or stuff, because it's got a light blue outline, so it's probably friendly. Were those things over there animated at all, or? Yeah, these things over here, these little lights are animated. Those might be collectibles. They might be Gnosis energy. There's also a torch over here, so we'll have to see what those are. Just some neat scenes here of presumably Cahal. Nice eye shot there. Now this is the scene that really caught my eye. And again, I'm a crappy new YouTuber, so I might not know if it's possible to slow motion this. I'm so professional. I am definitely gonna have a career as an amazing YouTuber. But yes, it seems like that is Cahal. I mean, there are one of two things that could be. That is either Cahal laying the absolute beat down on a Black Spiral Dancer, or it's a Black Spiral Dancer kill moving Cahal. And the reason that I say it could be the second one is, again, it has that kind of energy tendril stuff again. But again, considering it is not, and I'll try to throw up the scene from the reveal trailer showing a comparison of the tendrils on these two characters. I don't think it is the corruption worm tendrils. I think it's just showing rage and just showing Garu power. Most likely rage. I mean, every time that's been tendril like this, it's been showing those energy things. He's been doing something fierce. You know, the howl, I forgot what he did further back. I'm not going to rewind and check, but just, you know, power move. So it's probably just condensed physical rage that Cahal has. Howling, and then, yeah, seems like he rips his lower jaw off, and then just punch, punch, punch. Dead. Because even a Garu, Black Spiral Dancer Garu, whatever, probably couldn't survive having their jaw ripped off and a claw shoved down their throat or ripping their chest open or whatever. So, Oh, Cyanide, Big Ben, whoever I really need to focus on as the people doing the gameplay. Tell me we get some awesome kill moves. I would love to see some of that. It could also theoretically be a Garu that's not a Black Spiral Dancer that he's fighting, because the Garu do infight some, so it could be that. So we can see down here they've added PS5 and Xbox Series X to the list of systems they're coming out for. And again, I'll probably get it for PS4. Although, if it's coming out next year, I might actually have a new computer that can run it by then, because I'm thinking of getting one for Christmas, hopefully. So we'll see. But February 4th, 2021, finally have that settled, because that was one of the things I mentioned in my previous trailer reaction, is we don't know, we didn't know when it was coming out. If it was still coming out this year like they had it set to, or if they were going to delay it. I do not blame them for delaying it with the coronavirus and all the stuff going on now. I do not blame them for delaying it. So, yeah. Tell you what, I was about to go into my full screen mode, but we'll just go over this one more time. Again, I'm really curious as to what, wait a minute. Hold on, there's something I just noticed here. Notice that all these scenes showing the oil wells, the pump jacks, this is clearly desert. Like, it looks like somewhere you'd see in, like, the Southwest, like Lower California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico. That's what this kind of looks like. But if I remember right, I remember hearing that this game is supposed to take place in the Pacific Northwest, in the kind of Washington, Oregon area, which, again, that's also what, that's also where Bloodlines 2 is going to take place in Seattle. So that's where I kind of figured it would be. And not only that, but all the previous scenes that we had been shown seemed to show a forest. So I'm not really sure what the deal with these pump jacks is. I don't know if this is just I don't know if this is in the Umbra. I don't know if this is a different area that you'll go to. I don't know if it's just an area that the worm has corrupted to remove all the, forest or whatever. I don't know, but it kind of strikes me as a little weird that these scenes seem to be in a desert. So I don't really know about that. I've also noticed that through this whole trailer, they seem to emphasize Endron a lot. There's very little saying of Pentex, which Endron and Pentex are technically one and the same. It's just that Endron is kind of now a subsidiary of Pentex, so, Yep, there's, like, the impression I'm getting from the gameplay, there's one of the tendrils. We just saw 2 scenes showing the energy tendrils there. I like the music of it. Heavy metal is a good fit for World of Darkness stuff. And now with that little bit at the end of the... Like, that little bit with the music there, that's not English. At least I don't think it is. So I'm going to save you all a little bit of time that I spent here analyzing this and wondering if they were speaking in the Garu language, and just say they weren't. The song is by a band called Alien Weaponry. I say the song name and band later on in the video. They are from New Zealand, and their songs are written in the Maori, I think that's how you pronounce it, language. So yeah, that's the language it's in, and I just wanted to save y'all some cringe on that, and we'll just skip ahead to the next part. I'm content with that. I mean, I'm noticing that's actually a surprisingly high ratio of dislikes right now. I wonder if I refresh it what the ratio is looking like. Let's see. It's still roughly the same. I'm actually... Okay, yeah, so I'm not the only one noticing. That was both bad and amazing at all the same time. what was bad. The game seems really unpolished, yet at just 6 months of release. 6 months of... What? The animations aren't exactly fluid. There wasn't a lot shown yet. And it seems graphically disappointing for a UE4 game. Yeah, graphics are awful. Yeah, they're making some good points there, and the graphics didn't really seem... I mean, this guy up here has, made the point too, disappointed by the graphics. Graphics are tertiary. Yeah, the only downside is that you can't make your own character. Yeah, and the next video I was going to kind of make about Cahal and stuff kind of talks about the missing stuff with character creation, how they even could have put a little bit of character creation in, even keeping his tribe and even his breed kind of set, that you could still do auspice and kind of, do a little more interesting, like not full customization, but it let you more focus. Like if you went Ragabash, you could do more stealth focused. If you went Thayard, you could do more stuff in the Umbra. Arun would be... I'll discuss that if I make that video eventually. Finally getting full on Werewolf games, boy. So tired of just playing Werewolves in Skyrim. That's about the best you can do, is Skyrim and Blood Moon from Morrowind. Trailer was pretty terrible. Looks like a game from 2005. Surprise. Let's see if anybody says what the song is. Kai Tangata by Alien Weaponry. I'll look that up and see if it's a foreign stuff. A lot of editing going through. Could we get a walkthrough demo? I would think their next trailer or more thing talking about it should be a like a walkthrough, or just showing gameplay without cuts and stuff, just watching us do stuff and all that. Kind of excited, but Epic Games Store. Oh, that's right, it's coming out for Epic Games Store. Might not get it for PC then. We'll see. We'll see. I thought 2009 and you guys have a really good taste of music. I agree with that. Waiting since 1999. I think that's when either the original game came out, or they had the Heart of Gaia, I think it was called. Because there was a Werewolf the Apocalypse game that was originally going to be made and had a decent bit of development before it got canceled. I think it was called Heart of Gaia. I'll check and correct it here. I've already gone over 32 minutes just analyzing it, but, and this is 2 minutes. Tell you what, I'll go ahead and wrap this up, and in the comments, which, I mean, I didn't get a lot of engagement on my last trailer, so I'll even see if people show up to comment and stuff on it, but y'all can tell me in the comments if y'all want me to go over this as well. Now, there was another, let me see if I can find it. There was another Werewolf the Apocalypse game that was teased. But it had such a was it Heart of Gaia? Yeah, that's the one that's several years ago thing. Yeah, I'll have to find that. There's a game that is coming out. It's Werewolf the Apocalypse focused. Actually, I mentioned it in my comments for this. So let me go over here and check it out. Heart of the Forest. So yeah, it's only a 27-second trailer, but we can go over it real quick. Well, not go over it, but I'll at least show it to y'all if y'all didn't see it. A similar scene from the previous trailer. An owl, yay. Howling wolf, or growling wolf. That's literally it. That is the entire... Oh, full game reveal in July. Okay, and Different Tales / Werewolf. I'll go to there and check it, and if there's enough information there, I might make another video on it, but yeah. So, I think we've gone through it about as much as we can, and once again, I know I'm running over again. My videos just keep getting longer, don't they? Hopefully y'all don't mind that too much. You know, some YouTube creators, that's just kind of what they do, is they have long videos, and I guess that's what I'm going to end up being. So, gameplay. Some of it looked okay. I am with a lot of the comments that say the graphics look bad. To be fair, it still seems like this is probably still in alpha to beta stages. By this point, it really should be beta phases. And for that, the graphics should probably be a little bit better. And it was heavily edited. You know, we haven't actually gotten into the game to see how the graphics actually look without edits and a lot of stuff going on in the background and stuff. So, remains to be seen how the graphics are. And even then, if the graphics aren't the best, but the gameplay is still good, I can overlook that. I mean, if it's going to PS5 and Xbox Series 1X, they really should be better. But again, could still be early. They're still waiting to polish that up. Because all they've done is cinematics and I guess gameplay now. For me, the gameplay looks alright. It does look like it is probably going to have more of a spectacle fighter, which for those that don't know, that's a term that Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation came up with for a game that just emphasizes a lot of flashiness, a lot of flashy combos, and killing scores of enemies. Some of the best examples of that would be Devil May Cry, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, Bayonetta, Mad World, back on the Wii, No More Heroes. All those are pretty good examples of and you could argue like Dynasty Warrior type games since you're slaughtering so many enemies. Are examples of those games, just like killing lots of enemies and looking cool while you're doing it. And then the only enemies that are really going to prove much of a struggle would be bosses and heavy enemies like those power loaders or that Fomori-like or heavily armored dude that was charging at that one point. So it could end up being more of a brawler. Like I said, it almost kind of reminded me of either transforming into a werewolf in Skyrim and fighting that way without any mods or anything, or the werehog segments in Sonic Unleashed. So, and I didn't see, I know this is going to sound really silly, so bear with me, guys, but I didn't see any damage numbers floating over their heads. And to me, that's always a good indication of if a game is more RPG focused. I mean, look at Bloodlines. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines had damage numbers when you hit enemies. I know it's silly. I know it's a silly little thing, but that's usually a pretty good indication you've got more of an RPG-like game on your hands. And we didn't see that. Of course, we didn't see any HUD elements, which is a little frustrating. The only thing we saw was that outline, that bluish-white outline around the presumably Gaian spirit at wood elemental type at that one point there. But other than that, we saw no real heads-up saw no heads-up display, and we don't know, because another thing that would show me even more if this is a spectacle fighter or brawler type thing would be if we saw the heads-up display and it had a combo meter, because generally that's another good sign of a spectacle fighter is if there's a combo meter or combo display. Particularly if it throws up text, dope, badass, or whatever as you climb the combo. But and while pretty much all of it was showing Krynos fighting, fighting in your werewolf war form, Krynos form, we saw enough little tidbits of the other two forms to give us at least somebody to me that analyzes things in depth like that. It lets us see what it is focusing on. We see that the wolf is focused on stealth and possibly interacting with the Gaian spirits and the Umbra. But we definitely saw him stealthing early on. And then we also saw that bit where Cahal did, in his Hamid form, did the seemingly stealth kill and did the pulling out the crossbow that popped out. So again, I don't know if that means that the grip that I saw in his, his hip holster, leg holster in the previous video is that crossbow, or if it's like a revolver and you can pick different weapons. It seems like they might be going with both Hamid and Lupus forms being kind of stealth focused, and the Krynos form being obviously fighting spectacle fighter focused. And honestly, if they do it that way, where they have the Krynos form being a spectacle fighter style game, and the other two being more tactical RPG-like with sneaking and gunplay / pistol, crossbow, bow, whatever play. Most guys prefer crossbows and bows anyway. We'll have to see how that goes, but it did definitely answer my question of will there be gunplay as Cahal? It seems like there will be. And it also seems like he'll be doing a decent bit of stealth as well. So that's the impression we got from that. We didn't really see any features showing us much of the any RPG mechanics in it, so we still don't know if it's a very, very light RPG or if it's, you know, an RPG to the extent of, say, Bloodlines, you know, which still had a decent bit of brawler-style combat, but also was heavy on RPG stuff. We also didn't see, one of the other things I had heard is that Cahal's Hamid form would also be used for, like, persuasion, talking, as a gameplay thing. It would basically be Lupus form for stealth, Hamid form for talking, negotiating, some sneaking, and gunplay, and then obviously Krynos for tear things apart. So we'll see how that goes. It is very clearly shown near the end there that he was killing either a Garou Nation Garou or a Black Spiral Dancer Garou. We didn't see any of the corruption stuff on the one he was killing, so who knows? But, you know, I did quite a bit of analysis on that, and I'm talking your ears off now. For the next video, I might either compile everything that we know so far and discuss it, or again go, because now that we have gameplay, we know a little bit more about this, go back to talking about Cahal and kind of the lack of personalization, customization, you know, answering that. Oh, that's right. We don't have this set anymore. Talking, yeah, this guy that you can't make your own character. What did the things even say? Just like Redemption. Yeah, he's talking about Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, which was a game that followed, followed in the wake of Bloodlines, if I remember correctly. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Wait a minute. Did Redemption come out before Bloodlines? I'm going to throw that up here after I check it. It might have come out before. But yeah, in that game you had a preset character. In Vampire the Masquerade Redemption you had a preset character. So, yeah. Maybe there'll be another WT. Yeah, I totally agree. Thumbs up from me on that. Imagine be rather... Oh, right. I'm in private browsing again for this. But yeah, I agree. That was something that I kind of had an idea that they would have been doing. I don't necessarily agree that it was terrible or bad. Pre-order now for PS3 and Xbox 360. Hopefully we can get a Wii port too. Yeah. Okay, so where'd the guy go that was... Oh yeah, there it is. The character creation stuff. Imagine difficult to balance considering that some of the tribes play by different sets of rules like the Wendigo. That is true. The studio responsible for this is no AAA. Might be above their capabilities. Before. Okay, he's also saying before Bloodlines Bad Redemption, so my bad. I think it is before. There's always room for more. Yeah. The joy of min-maxing, taking purely role-play flaws in a video game, and then without people complaining about. Yeah, that was kind of an issue in... you know, you'd have people go, what was it? Lupus, Stargazer, Aron, where you just get max in Rage, Willpower, and Gnosis. Might go over that if I make a video talking about that. But, yeah. I think you could have still had the Auspice selected, but it seems like they don't let you pick the Auspice, thanks to a guy that clarified in the comments on my previous video that one of the glyphs that showed up seemed to be the Aron glyph. So it seems like Cahal is a Hamid, Fianna, Aron. Again, I'll discuss that, and once again I've gone over to 45 minutes, but I think I've done about the level of analysis I wanted to do, you know, really deeply diving into this trailer as well as having a reaction. So again, to all of you that sat through this 45 freaking minute long video, thank you. I guess this is just kind of the style of video I'm going to end up doing, is these lengthy videos, you know. I follow YouTubers that do 40, 50 minute videos, sometimes even over an hour. I guess I'll just be the kind of YouTuber I end up being, and I might find a way to make shorter videos, but for now, for all that sat there through the ride and the analysis, thank you. Thank you to all the people that are subscribed to me that watch this, and all the people that will subscribe thanks to this. I'll keep talking about Earthblood. Hell, when it comes out, I'll probably do a Let's Play on it, or at least a review if nothing else. So, we'll see. But for now, yeah, thank you all. We know pretty much almost everything about the game now, except for all we need to know now is what the RPG elements are like. And we will know pretty much all the aspects of game, well, and story. We haven't had like any characters talking story stuff yet, so we'll have to see about that as well. But anyway, thank y'all for coming out. It was an okay trailer. Could have been better, but I'm still fairly hyped for it. So yeah, thank you all, and I'll see you next time. Peace.